Ukrainians are facing a harsh winter without heat and electricity, and Slavic Gospel Association is reaching out with help for this incredible suffering that is the reality because of war. In the middle of the endless stories of lack and struggle, there is also a moving of God's Spirit and a searching for answers. And this morning we're going to hear about both and the need and the way that God's at work as we visit with Eric Mock. And Eric is Vice President of Ministry Operations for Slavic Gospel Association. Good morning, Eric.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me on your program.
Yeah, always good to have you on, Eric. So why don't you give us an update of what's going on in Ukraine right now, Eric?
Well, actually, literally minutes before we started the radio interview, I received a message that there are incoming missiles yet again starting there Monday morning. And so they're all in shelters right now. But I was speaking with one gentleman that's in our office, where he is spending the night, and he gets his temperature, his morning temperature inside when he's sleeping is 59, and they can barely keep it warm, maybe 2 hours a day of electricity. And so we are rushing aid, both generators, blankets, mattresses, you can imagine, to the churches to help people there.
So, Eric, tell us exactly how you're helping and maybe how people can get involved with the help.
Well, as you might know, from all the reports coming out, almost a third or more than a third of the population is homeless. Some have left the region, but many of them are struggling. You might have seen photos where even when the water supply was out, they were standing next to downspouts trying to get water coming out of downspouts so they had something to drink. To be able to address this massive humanitarian effort would probably be more than most any of us can do. So we have taken an approach to equipping churches to be centers of refuge, of heat and hope. So we're trying to get generators to these churches. They average about 150 people that are coming to each one of them. Blankets, a couple per family. 150 families coming to each of them. And so we're talking about thousands of blankets and hundreds of generators that are already on their way and beginning to bless people. So we're targeting the population through equipping the churches, because if we help them in all the physical needs, but we do not address the spiritual need, we have completely missed the importance of what we're doing. It is amazing. I can't tell you how many stories there are where people. One lady last week once again wrote in and said, from the Kharkov region, she said she had never considered walking through the doors of a church. And then she discovered it was that local Bible teaching church that was providing for aid. And she came in and heard the gospel and was wholly transformed. And this is really the paradox that is so hard to process. In the middle of the worst of times, it can be the best of times. Mm-hmm. In a time in which we're stripped of all of our self-reliance or the reliance on the world, people wake up to the reality there is hope only in God. And in these churches that were maybe 20% full, they're overflowing with people that are looking for answers and hearing the truth of the gospel.